In January 2023, India launched one of the world's most ambitious clean energy initiatives, the National Green Hydrogen Mission. With an initial investment of 19,744 crore, or approximately $2.3 billion, this groundbreaking program aims to transform India's energy landscape and position the country as a global leader in green hydrogen production. Unlike conventional hydrogen production methods that rely on fossil fuels, green hydrogen is produced using renewable electricity, creating a virtually carbon-free fuel source that could revolutionize industries from steel manufacturing to fertilizer production. Today, we'll explore how this mission is reshaping India's future, addressing climate challenges, and potentially creating a new paradigm for developing nations in the global energy transition. The National Green Hydrogen Mission represents a dramatic shift in India's approach to clean energy. While solar and wind have dominated renewable discussions for decades, green hydrogen offers something fundamentally different, a solution for sectors that have proven difficult to electrify directly. The mission's target is ambitious, producing 5 million tons of green hydrogen annually by 2030, establishing India not just as a consumer, but as a potential export hub for this emerging fuel. The timing is particularly significant as it aligns with India's G20 presidency, during which the country has emphasized sustainable development and energy transition as key priorities on the global stage. India's approach stems from its unique position in the global energy landscape. As the world's third-largest energy consumer with rapidly growing demand, the country faces dual challenges of ensuring energy security, while meeting its climate commitments under the Paris Agreement and its pledge to reach net zero emissions by 2070. Green hydrogen has emerged as a strategic choice because it leverages India's expanding renewable energy capacity, which has grown dramatically from just 76 gigawatts in 2014 to over 175 gigawatts by 2023. What distinguishes India's hydrogen mission from similar initiatives elsewhere is its comprehensive framework addressing the entire hydrogen value chain. The program doesn't simply focus on production, it creates an integrated ecosystem covering production, storage, distribution, and applications. Crucially, it emphasizes developing domestic manufacturing capabilities alongside consumption incentives, avoiding the pitfalls of previous clean energy transitions, where India became heavily dependent on imported equipment like solar panels and wind turbines. This balanced approach aims to create both supply and demand simultaneously, establishing a self-sustaining hydrogen economy. The mission has established a first-of-its-kind regulatory framework for green hydrogen certification, creating a transparent system to verify the renewable origins of hydrogen, a critical component for international trade and credibility in global markets. This certification system will allow Indian hydrogen to command premium prices in international markets where sustainability credentials are increasingly valuable. Green hydrogen production relies on electrolysis, splitting water molecules using electricity, but with a crucial distinction from traditional methods. While approximately 95% of global hydrogen is currently produced from fossil fuels through steam methane reforming, generating significant carbon emissions, the mission focuses instead on using renewable electricity to power electrolyzers, resulting in hydrogen with a near-zero carbon footprint. The technological challenge is substantial. Current electrolyzers operate at 60 to 80% efficiency rates, meaning significant energy is lost in the conversion process. Recognizing this challenge, the mission has allocated 8,075 crore, approximately $964 million, specifically for electrolyzer manufacturing incentives to drive innovation. Recent breakthroughs from the Indian Institute of Science have demonstrated novel catalyst materials that could potentially increase efficiency by 20%, though these remain in laboratory stages and require further development for commercial deployment. The technical complexities of green hydrogen extend beyond just production. Hydrogen storage and transportation present unique challenges due to the element's low volumetric energy density and propensity to embrittle metal containers. The mission addresses these hurdles through dedicated research funding for advanced storage solutions, including metal hydrides and liquid organic hydrogen carriers, that can store hydrogen at higher densities and lower pressures. The Indian Oil Corporation has already begun constructing specialized hydrogen storage facilities in Mathura and Panipat refineries, incorporating indigenous innovations in material science that reduce embrittlement and improve safety. These facilities represent early infrastructure investments that will form the backbone of India's hydrogen distribution network. The mission also explores pipeline infrastructure adaptations, as existing natural gas pipelines can potentially be modified to carry hydrogen blends, creating a cost-effective distribution pathway by leveraging already built infrastructure. Water requirements represent another technical consideration often overlooked in hydrogen discussions. Producing 1 kilogram of hydrogen through electrolysis requires approximately 9 liters of purified water, a significant consideration in a country where water scarcity affects millions of citizens. The mission addresses this challenge through innovative approaches, including provisions for integrated desalination plants powered by renewable energy in coastal hydrogen production facilities. This approach turns a potential limitation into an opportunity for technological advancement in water purification methods. Some pilot projects are exploring wastewater recycling systems that can provide the necessary input water while simultaneously addressing water treatment challenges. The mission also incentivizes research into electrolyzers that can function with less purified water inputs, potentially reducing both costs and environmental impacts. These water-related innovations demonstrate how the hydrogen mission is driving advancements across multiple technological domains beyond just energy. The mission's economic dimensions extend far beyond energy production. India currently imports over 85% of its oil and 53% of its natural gas, creating a significant trade deficit and vulnerability to global energy market fluctuations. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy estimates that successful implementation of the green hydrogen mission could reduce fossil fuel imports by over $12 billion annually by 2030, a transformative shift in India's energy security position. This import reduction would not only improve India's trade balance, but also insulate its economy from the price volatility that has characterized global fossil fuel markets. By developing domestic hydrogen production capabilities, India creates a more stable and predictable energy cost structure for its industrial sector, potentially improving international competitiveness across multiple industries. The mission also positions India to capitalize on emerging export opportunities as other countries seek to secure green hydrogen supplies, potentially transforming India from an energy importer to an energy exporter in specific markets. Industrial applications form the core target sectors for the green hydrogen mission. The program explicitly incentivizes green hydrogen use in hard-to-abate industries like steel manufacturing, where hydrogen can replace coking coal in the reduction process. Tata Steel has already begun pilot projects in Jamshedpur using hydrogen injection in blast furnaces, reporting a 10% reduction in carbon emissions during initial trials. As these technologies mature, they could potentially transform steel production, one of India's most carbon-intensive industries, into a significantly cleaner process. Fertilizer production represents another key application with immediate potential. India consumes approximately 30 million tons of urea annually, with production heavily dependent on natural gas. The mission mandates that fertilizer plants gradually blend green hydrogen into their feedstock, starting with 5% by 2025 and increasing to 20% by 2030. This mandate alone would create demand for approximately 1.5 million tons of green hydrogen, providing a stable market that can support early infrastructure investments. Other industrial applications include refineries, where hydrogen is used for hydrocracking and desulfurization processes, and the chemical industry, where hydrogen serves as a fundamental feedstock for numerous products. The green hydrogen ecosystem's employment potential is substantial and multifaceted. According to mission projections, the hydrogen economy will generate over 600,000 jobs across the value chain by 2030. These positions span various skill levels, from specialized electrochemical engineers to manufacturing technicians and logistics personnel. Recognizing that this emerging sector requires specialized knowledge, the mission includes provisions for dedicated hydrogen training centers in partnership with technical universities. The first such center was established at IIT Madras in March 2023, offering specialized certification programs in hydrogen technologies. These training initiatives are designed to ensure that India's workforce is prepared for the transition, preventing skills gaps that could slow implementation. The employment benefits extend beyond direct jobs in hydrogen production. The mission's focus on domestic manufacturing creates additional employment in equipment production, while the broader supply chain, from renewable energy expansion to specialized materials, generates indirect employment opportunities. The geographic distribution of these jobs is also significant, as hydrogen production facilities can be located in various regions based on renewable energy resources, potentially bringing economic development to areas previously underserved by industrial growth. The mission creates new economic models through its market development initiatives. The concept of hydrogen valleys, integrated industrial clusters where hydrogen production, storage, and consumption occur in proximity, is being implemented in states like Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. These valleys reduce transportation costs while creating economies of scale that lower the overall cost of hydrogen. The Gujarat Valley, centered around the Kandla port, is already attracting international investment, with companies from Japan, Germany, and South Korea committing over $3 billion to establish operations within this ecosystem. These hydrogen valleys represent a new approach to industrial development, where energy production and consumption are tightly integrated to maximize efficiency and minimize losses. The valleys are designed to foster innovation through proximity, as different companies in the hydrogen value chain can collaborate more easily when co-located. They also create opportunities for industrial symbiosis, where waste products or excess energy from one process can serve as inputs for another, further improving overall system efficiency. The port-based location of many planned hydrogen valleys also facilitates potential exports, positioning these regions as future hubs in the international hydrogen trade. Perhaps the mission's most overlooked aspect is its international dimension. India has strategically formed green hydrogen alliances with countries possessing complementary capabilities. The India-Japan Clean Energy Partnership specifically focuses on joint electrolyzer development, leveraging Japan's advanced materials science expertise with India's manufacturing scale. The mission has also created a green hydrogen corridor concept with the UAE, with initial agreements outlining a framework for India to export green hydrogen to Europe via the UAE's existing energy infrastructure. This positions India in a potentially lucrative middle position in the emerging global hydrogen supply chain. The geopolitical implications of green hydrogen development are significant and unique. Unlike rare earth minerals or semiconductor manufacturing, green hydrogen production doesn't face inherent geographical limitations. Any nation with renewable energy potential can participate. This creates an unusual opportunity for India to establish early leadership in a critical future energy source, without the typical resource constraints that have historically shaped energy geopolitics. India's diplomatic approach to hydrogen has been particularly nuanced. Rather than viewing green hydrogen solely as a domestic initiative, India has positioned it as a solution to global climate challenges through platforms like the International Solar Alliance and Mission Innovation. This framing has enabled India to access international climate finance and technical assistance while maintaining sovereignty over its energy transition pathway. The mission's standards and certification framework have broader implications for global hydrogen trade. By developing one of the first comprehensive green hydrogen certification systems, India is helping shape international standards at a formative stage. This influence could provide long-term advantages as global hydrogen markets mature and certification becomes a prerequisite for premium market access. The certification system tracks the carbon intensity of hydrogen production through its life cycle, creating transparency that will be essential for international credibility. By establishing these systems early, India positions itself to influence global standards rather than simply adapting to frameworks developed elsewhere. This approach reflects a strategic understanding that early movers in emerging industries often have outsized influence on how markets develop. The certification system also creates differentiation opportunities for Indian hydrogen in international markets, potentially commanding price premiums for verified green hydrogen with specific sustainability characteristics. As global carbon border adjustment mechanisms emerge in key markets like the European Union, having established certification systems will facilitate Indian hydrogen exports by demonstrating compliance with international climate standards. As the mission enters its implementation phase in late 2023, its success will depend on technological development and creating viable economic models that compete with established fossil fuel infrastructure. The mission's approach of targeting specific industrial applications rather than broad consumer adoption represents a pragmatic pathway that distinguishes it from many other clean energy initiatives globally. This focus on industrial use cases provides immediate scale and predictable demand that can support infrastructure development. The mission acknowledges the cost challenges facing green hydrogen, which currently remains more expensive than fossil fuel-derived hydrogen. Rather than relying solely on subsidies, the implementation strategy creates regulatory frameworks that value the carbon reduction benefits of green hydrogen. The Strategic Interventions for Green Hydrogen Transition Program provides production-linked incentives that decline over time as scale economies develop, creating a glide path to economic competitiveness. This approach recognizes that temporary support mechanisms are needed while also establishing clear expectations for industry to achieve cost reductions through innovation and scale. The implementation also prioritizes no-regrets investments in multi-purpose infrastructure that can serve the hydrogen economy while providing immediate benefits in other sectors, maximizing the value of early investments even as the hydrogen market develops. The true significance of India's hydrogen ambitions may be in demonstrating that developing economies can lead energy transitions rather than simply following paths established by industrialized nations. If successful, this mission could provide a template for other emerging economies seeking to balance development needs with climate imperatives, potentially reshaping the global approach to energy transitions in the decades ahead. Unlike many climate initiatives that position developing countries primarily as recipients of technology transfer, India's approach establishes the country as an innovator and potential technology provider. This model of leapfrogging directly to green hydrogen while still developing economically challenges conventional assumptions about the sequence of industrial development and environmental protection. The mission also demonstrates how climate action can be aligned with national economic interests through careful policy design. By focusing on areas where green hydrogen creates domestic value, reducing imports, creating jobs, establishing new industries, the mission builds broader political and economic constituencies for the energy transition. This alignment of climate and economic objectives creates a more sustainable policy framework that can withstand political changes and economic pressures. As other developing nations observe India's implementation, the mission could influence energy planning globally, particularly in countries with similar development profiles and renewable energy potential. India's National Green Hydrogen Mission represents a watershed moment in the global energy transition, a comprehensive strategy that goes far beyond typical clean energy initiatives to create an entirely new industrial ecosystem. By addressing the complete value chain from production and storage to distribution and end-use applications, India has positioned itself at the forefront of what may become the next global energy revolution. The mission's significance extends beyond environmental benefits, offering solutions to India's energy security challenges, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs, transforming carbon-intensive industries, and potentially establishing the country as an exporter in emerging hydrogen markets. Through innovative approaches to certification, international partnerships, and industrial clustering, India is not merely adopting green hydrogen technology, but actively shaping its global development. Perhaps most importantly, the mission demonstrates that developing economies need not choose between economic growth and climate action. They can lead the way in creating new models that achieve both simultaneously. As implementation progresses through this decade, India's Green Hydrogen Initiative may well provide the template for a fundamentally different approach to energy transitions worldwide, one that balances technological innovation, economic pragmatism, and environmental necessity in service of both national development and global climate goals. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates. Your feedback is appreciated. We hope to see you again.